Hello and welcome to Four-Sided Dive. I am Travis Willingham, your 25th Tavern Keeper, and we have an amazing show for you tonight. All-star Matthew Mercer made us all... oh, sorry. They're writing something on the prompter. Do it more like Robbie. Okay. All-star Matthew Mercer made us all believers with the Bells Hells live show we did at the Greek last month.
Travis,
Yep.
So like when we say Robbie, do it more like Robbie, he hosted the show last time with this like sing-songy voice. It was really, really cute. Can you do it like that?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
Taliesin Jaffe got to play Smash Mouth with the Nox engine after the Dominox went to walking on the sun. Kyle, I don't think I can do this.
Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong?
I don't know, this Smash Mouth copy is weird and everyone's telling me to be more like Robbie.
Okay, well, first of all, the Smash Mouth copy is perfect, okay? And second of all, we just want you to embody the effortless charm that Robbie had when he hosted. You know, no one is expecting you to be Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Thank
so
you.
we're going to reset. We're going to do it again, and this time, wear this hat.
Okay.
Okay? Bye. Like that.
Chinny Pockapee, my little guy got hooked on an animated chain that could not get enough of him, baby. Oh, please, God, end this. What? Who is that? Oh, shit! Oh, Sam! Sam Riegel, it's a miracle! Oh, man, I'm so glad you're back! Oh, you're gonna save me from the pressure of hosting Four-Sided Dive? Robbie Davis has some shadow.
No, I'm. Hi. You're on your own, pal.
You're here, and the clouds? Oh, come on! Welcome to Four-Sided Dive. Let's do a fucking show! Hi, welcome back. Let's begin the night with our open discussion segment. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah.
Which is, I have a cue sheet of what the fuck is up with that topics.
Yeah.
And the one at the top says the Taliesin of it all.
Oh, really?
No,
What?
no, it doesn't.
No. What? You can also do it on that too.
It says the Sam of it all.
The Sam
Who's
of it all.
back?
Sad.
That's right. I'm here.
Look at this
It's
guy.
weird.
Sam, it's been forever since FCG's brave sacrifice.
Oh, yes.
Can we talk about that moment?
Sure.
For just a hot
Yes,
fucking second?
sure. You know, I had been talking to Matt about how if that could happen for quite some time, or if what would happen if FCG blew themselves up, because it was something I was interested in doing, maybe
So you had asked well in advance of that.
months,
Oh, damn.
if not years.
It was well, there was the alluding to it earlier in the campaign back when he was getting inspected in the unintentional Chekhov's gun of the whole scenario.
Yeah.
Back when you were at the City of Light, and you found out that you had a bomb in you essentially.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, that was part of the whole like Aeormaton assassin sort of construction of your type, your model, if you will. But it was, yeah.
Yeah, no, so I knew that was a possibility, and I was just sort of waiting for a good time to do it. And I found out I was ill, and so I thought maybe I should take a break. So it seemed like a good time to do it. I briefly talked to Matt before the game when FCG died about like, what do if I have to take some time off, what do we do or whatever? And he was like, I'll think of some stuff. I think you had a plan of some sort.
I had a plan where like because we knew you were going into surgery soon, and so it was like I was gonna have, as they were exiting the chaos, to have like a flare on Ruidus that was gonna kind of scramble his circuits, if you will, and kind of take him out of commission for a while, which would have given us an indeterminate period of time before you could return. Or we could make it a lot more final.
Yeah. So yeah, then just during the fight, I sort of decided that maybe it would be smarter to just peace out. Also, because we were losing.
That's the thing.
So badly.
I was going to say, well, at least for me, and I don't ever listen to anything you guys say or pay attention at all, but I had no inclination that you were even leaning that way, because I thought we were going to throw down in that fight, thought it was going well, it very quickly wasn't.
Yeah.
And then you did that move, but you gave no hint.
I didn't know that was going to happen until late in the fight. You know, it seemed like it was not going well.
No, it was not going well.
Yeah, but
you had nothing but time to watch too during that fight.
I was dead in the first round.
yeah, but also felt like a good way to take FCG into the sunset. It was the culmination of his love of these people and his growth as a character, and seems like a good way to go.
I was so in awe of you as that was happening, because I hadn't thought about the timing of it at all, and it was framed so well. And I don't know what it's like in your head as you're trying to like make up on the spot what you're going to say, especially in poignant moments, but it was fucking beautiful. It was beautiful. I feel like just applesauce comes out when I talk.
Luckily, there was tons of time during that fight to think, because we were dying for so long.
That's true. That's true.
It was definitely meant to be one of those encounters that was like, with a little luck, it could have barely gone your way, or it's an eventual realization that we have to, maybe the victory is stopping them and running. Mm-hmm. You know, the tunnel, there are things that could have been collapsed, things that could have been put in their way. There were other options at a certain point, but also a lot of bad rolls, and Odahan's intentionally a very dangerous character. It just started turning into like a death spiral. It was close, like it was getting down to the wire. Like with some other good rolls, it could have still been a victory outside of the sacrifice, but who knew if that was going to go, and who else might have been lost in the process? Like it was one of those things where it was the right move. Like you said, for the character story, it ended up being a beautiful kind of end to FCG's story. But
and also for the group, you know, tragedy does great things for groups. So.
Yeah, but it ensured that the battle was over.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else would have been still, like I said, I don't know how many more people we would have lost if it had gone and the rolls continued to be bad. I started rolling really good consistently for that fight, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that was the one where we could count on two hands your nat 20s.
She also attacks a lot. Her build is, because it is a singular martial boss, which means there's no real like spells that are slung for massive, damage. So her build is meant to do a bunch of attacks. That's where she's most dangerous, and a lot of maneuverability. Similar to Orym, same thing. Right. Orym rolled a shit ton of criticals as well, but because they're both builds that are meant to be rolling a lot per turn. And then she has legendary actions and all that stuff. So yeah, I rolled a lot of crits, but also I rolled a lot of dice for her throughout that battle.
Tangent.
Yeah. Oh.
Crits, criticals. Have you rolled less, more, or about the same this campaign compared to previous campaigns?
Well, he has definitely less.
Less. I mean,
Me too.
You used a loaded dice for
the golden snitch.
Yeah.
On the first that legendary.
That was also Percy was also a fighter build, which means I did roll a lot of dice. Although I will say I have definitely not rolled a lot of nat 20s at all.
I think less for me too.
I think I can count on one hand the number of nat 20 attacks I've made this campaign. Like, it's not a lot.
Attack recklessly more, please.
Even then, right? It just feels like
it's just like I'm like I guess I hit. Yeah, there's a lot of it's been. I'll also say that there are certain builds I get more often than the others, which I find fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Your four.
Yeah, my four barbarian builds. There's
the fundamental forces.
Yeah. There's one I get very, very often, one I get often, and then two I almost never get.
It's always fun to watch you do that, because it's always like you're always like, oh, I really want this one. Nope. Didn't get it.
Which is honestly,
that's how you wanted it.
That's actually what I was going for. Was like I was really excited by the notion that I would just be like, well, figure it out, fucker. And I have sometimes gotten the build I really didn't want, and then somehow made it work really well.
You intentionally came to me for the build on this, like, I want to make a character that forces me to adapt every time.
I loved it, and I
Yeah.
love it. I'm still every moment, even when I'm like, oh no, this is not helpful at all.
Do you have that golden snitch in storage somewhere behind
Wow.
glass? Or?
No, it's unfortunate.
What?
He gave it to me at the end of the first campaign, and then someone stole my bag. And so like that, along with all the dice that I'd collected in there, my signed DMG
House?
No.
out of my car.
Damn,
Yeah.
somebody got away with fucking heirlooms.
They don't even know what they have.
No, I know. They probably thought it was a
Maybe they do.
laptop, and they're like, "What are these dumb D&D books with a bunch of signatures in it?" Where I had like my signature of the entire Wizards team that they gifted me the first time I went there. Like I had a bunch of good.
Where's the laptop?
Yeah, they're like, "This is bullshit." I threw it in a garbage can, and I'm like, "No." But the snitch was the biggest loss because that was a point of fixed folded time apparently.
Yeah.
An anomaly.
It's a
like a
singularity,
vestige.
for sure. But no, I thought that I was very pleased with the way that Fresh Cut Grass died, and it was a very emotional night for many reasons. But I thought it was dramatic and fun. And it was great.
It was in game. It was such an incredible, unexpected like narrative layer, and then, now that we can talk about what you were about to endure, there was that subconscious layer underneath it. As soon as we realized what was happening, it was so many emotions hitting, on a very public level and also on a very private level that like it caught me off guard harder than I would have anticipated.
Yeah. I know.
We missed you so
I
fucking
didn't know
much.
how long I would
dude.
be gone.
I know.
For sure.
We're so happy to have you
It was
back.
so
And I
good.
didn't want Marisha to be mad at me because I messed up the production calendar.
That is the most important thing to consider, yeah.
A1, the production calendar.
But shout out to our production crew for rolling with the punches on
yeah.
this whole journey.
Yes. Thank
Sincerely,
you
they've all been amazing.
for shooting around me.
We do make it up as we go, and it has been a testament to that excellence. Yeah. That is for sure. Well, FCG,
Yeah.
no more. Greek live show, new character,
That's right.
Braius,
Doomseed.
Doomseed. What's in a name, Sam Riegel?
You know.
Did you use the fantasy name generator on that one?
I will say it's the first name that came into my head. I was like, what does that mean? Wow. Let's find out.
Beautiful.
Mr. Doomseed.
Please, Mr. Doomseed is his father.
Call me Braius. Please walk us through. Walk us through.
Well, I can't. You barely met the guy. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, not a full reveal, but tell us, what were your considerations? What did you think about when you were preparing for
Is
the
there any
live
other character
show?
types you were thinking of?
Well, I had this idea to be a brain in a jar.
Wait,
What? Steal my idea.
brain in a jar?
Wait, you came up with that?
No.
Oh.
I have also for years had an idea, Marisha and I have had an idea where I'm a brain in the jar, I'm a brain in a jar who can only cast vocal spells. And she is the barbarian that's holding me.
Yeah, I wanted to
That's
do
actually
something
really
like that.
I know, we really want to do it at some point, but it'll never happen.
Oh, hold on to it. You never know.
Brain in a jar sounded fun, and then what other?
Like the most fun.
I knew I should probably pick something that heals. That can heal.
Yeah, that might help.
And
I think I just lost your cleric. That's fine.
yeah, I didn't want to do another cleric, obviously, and so that their paladins seem good.
Yeah.
for that. And then I thought a lot about what everybody's character is going through romantically or in their progression of the story and how Bell's Hells relates to God. So I knew that I wanted to be someone who has knowledge of gods or at least one god. And I wanted to choose a character that could interact with lots of different members of Bell's Hells. And I thought that you guys would be more likely to interact with me if I was super hot. Or at least the ladies would.
That intro, if I may say,
Right here.
you did a fantastic job of being at the theater with us, but we didn't see you get into makeup, hair. We didn't see an outfit. You were sequestered.
I was.
You were faking what accent you were, unless you really hadn't figured it out yet.
This is also a thing. I wanted to come in with a pretty distinct British accent, but I can't speak very well. I'm still like relearning how to talk and stuff. So it came out just sort of like this. So the next time you see Braius, he might sound totally different.
To be fair, like we had said for his intro, his throat was damaged when we met.
I made that choice that he had just been like stabbed in the throat, and so he was going to sound really haggard and stuff, because I didn't know if I could talk at the show.
Yeah, there was even a chance that you weren't feeling up to going. Like I had to plan 2 different scenarios where Braius wasn't going to be there in case Sam wasn't up for it.
Yeah.
Or
even the night of the show, I was backstage and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. When I talked to Matt initially about the live show, I was like, I really would love to do it. I really want to be there with you guys and in front of the crowd and everything, but I don't know if I will feel up to it. So can you just bring me out for the last 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, I'll think about it. I think I can do something like that. And then I got to the Greek and you were like, I'm going to bring you out 20 minutes into the game. I was like, oh God. But it was great.
Well, it's like I said, it was likely going to be a battle for the back half, so you would just like come to your turns, not a huge lift. Otherwise, with knowing where it was going, especially with the arrival of Ludinus and the Occultist Thalamus, or the Occultist Thalamus, and like it would have been weird to be like, as Ludinus leads you into the thing, and all of a sudden this like horned guy comes in and it's like, hey, I'm a new player.
Yeah,
all right, now back into the story.
You're
Like,
right.
it's the only way I could make it work out. But you did great. You really knocked it out of the park, man.
Yeah, it was a great night, and I'm glad I could participate, and I'm glad that I could unveil this character. I can't say much more than that, other than he's monochromatic, and he's got a cool backstory that half of the internet already spoiled.
What?
I heard about this.
Oh, boy.
They found, I held up a sheet of my notes and on the show, and they like zoomed and enhanced on it, and now half of my backstory is out there on the internet. But
What'd you do? Type it out at 56 font or something?
I'm old.
Your phone is the font on your phone is abnormally large. It is grape nuts large. Like it is so look at this shit. Look at his messages. Look at that!
Wow.
There's 2 text bubbles per screen.
That's kind of impressive, actually.
Hey, you know what? That's preventing eye strain. That's very smart.
That's true.
What it is.
That's true.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but so now I'm gonna have to go back and rewrite half my backstory.
You're gonna change it?
I'm gonna change it. I don't want them to.
Just the parts that we're seeing? Do you know
Yeah.
which? Okay. So you
To be
know
fair,
what's accessed.
We've only just met the characters, so all that is still in flux. Whatever feels right for you. Thanks, Internet.
Yeah, thanks.
You ruin
Ed.
everything.
It was also so wonderfully, I don't know if cathartic is the right word, I think overwhelming when you came out. Like if you watch Ashley and Laura on the other end of the tables, like Laura's trying not to cry, Ashley's trying, yeah, because you know, we've all been on this ride with you, of course, you know, in a support role, and hearing that wave was
So good.
it was amazing.
It was very healing for me, for sure. And it was.
Wouldn't want to have done it without you.
Yeah, it was so great to be back and to see you guys, and I was in so much pain that night. Oh, buddy. I was on a lot of drugs.
Thanks for not fucking it up. It was amazing. Okay, I want to ask about Braius's obsession with Tevin.
So Tevin is a high-ranking Asmodean
Sure.
Lord of Hellion? Yeah.
devil, high-ranking devil, and you know, Braius fucks with that. He just has mad respect for the man. That's all.
Devin's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Damn, we don't know enough. I want to ask about the monochromatic. I want to ask about the double flails.
Oh yeah. It's a cool weapon
Flails is fun.
when you see it in action.
And you're horny, literally, and
I'm a horny devil. Yeah.
I can't wait. I want more. I want more now.
I think
Yeah.
Is that why FCG had to go? It was a character that just wasn't quite horny enough for you?
Exactly.
Just bubbling up for too long.
I was blue balling for the whole campaign. I needed something to fuck at. And now I can. Now I can fuck at everything.
Oh shit.
Danny's leaving.
Just getting ready for all of the requests that are gonna hit my inbox. For this.
No, there's some things that I really found that I enjoy doing in these campaigns, and so this is, I assume towards the end of campaign 3, and I want to do all those things, which is be horny and be charismatic and be hot and be powerful and be a good liar.
I love it.
I can
Hit
do
the
it all.
checklist.
Yeah, buddy.
And you've given the cosplay community a very simple palette to work with.
Exactly.
Can we also shout out the amazing fans at that show? I'm sure this was hit previously, but that energy was so amazing. And I personally snuck to the sides of the stage. On either side, there were these windows that looked out at like the snack and beverage area. And there were people in line for food and drink and stuff, but they were just in groups, like talking and taking pictures. And I saw people handing out like freebies and stuff, and you keep seeing all these messages about people connecting and starting, friend groups and shit. That was awesome. And I think because it wasn't in a traditional theater house, you could see everybody so much better for the first hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I've always found it a more social theater experience at the Greek too. Just because it is so open and you're not like locked into your seat so much, and there's so much room to move around, and even the boxes, quote unquote, are just like tables. They're like they're like picnic tables. It's really.
I heard that like as we were getting to certain heavy parts of the story, suddenly like flocks of bats were overhead, eating.
Cool.
And I was like, "Fuck! I'm sad I missed that." And also, we probably had to pay extra.
But yeah, I saw people that were up on the sides and in the back. They said when the sun, I guess right when it was going down, all of a sudden these bugs came out, and so they were kind of like, "Oh, this might be a thing." And a swarm of bats came and took them out like it was feeding time. They're like, "This is so on brand, but also what the fuck?" It's just like an aerial fight happening.
I was happy. I think I was happiest because my wife, Quien, came to the show.
Yeah.
And
Watched for the first time.
I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, you can leave, after my entrance or whatever. Just go home. It's fine. And she was like, okay, well, maybe. And she stayed for the whole thing. And I talked to her afterwards, and she was like, it was awesome. Like, she was like, the story was so great. Matt's really good.
I guess you can stay.
She was like, how does he comes up with that on the fly? I'm like, we've been doing this for 10 years. Yes.
Honestly, all I wanted was her approval. So I'm happy now.
She had such a great time. And for the next several days after the show was broadcast or whatever, she turned into like a critter.
Oh?
She was online all the time. She was like, oh, did you see this comment? Did you see what they said on Twitter about you? Did you see this? Did you see this fan art and stuff? And I was like, you're so cute. It's amazing.
I love that.
And now she doesn't care anymore.
Of course. Hey, we got a window.
Yeah.
A wonderful moment we'll clutch for the rest of our lives.
I could be a rock star for my wife for a week.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
I love that.
All right, coming off of Tevin and other devils, fiendish friends and foes. This is a good little subject. I think this is nice.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Danny. Summoning Tevin was a boss move.
Yeah, cool.
Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean?
No, I mean in the sense that in building up for this live show, I already had Essek as the guy that I had to worry about controlling.
Stack the paddock.
Yeah, and then it was like, cool. And by the way, Matt, let's bring in another NPC that's going to escort us. I'm like, cool, all right. And we're bringing Sam back in. So now we're with Robbie in the campaign. Now it's 8 players at the table with 2 NPCs that are also in the battle.
To Brennan.
Yeah, and then so we into Brennan, which also meant the lewdness of the. It basically just was this ramp of like, Matt, you did this to yourself, and I'm just gonna buckle up and make it fucking work.
We forget how often We just think that as you're juggling 8 bowling pins, if we throw a 9th one in there, it really won't make much of a difference.
Honestly, it's kind of true. At a certain point, it's just all fucked. And I'm just
It's
like,
just
sure.
messed up.
Yeah. Like,
and what
once
you-
you're underwater, it doesn't matter how deep it is, really. You're still underwater.
And you get cool scenarios like you getting the how do you want to do this?
Oh, man. I love the audience was shouting it out. Like, just forcing you into it.
Oh, man. It was one of those things where I was like, all right, cool. They're going ahead and they're pushing Dominox up through the gate. You know, he's down in health. All right, cool. Next turn. All right, they're running around, going to the doorway. Okay, next turn. They're just checking in on the bag. Okay, cool. Turning invisible. All right, cool. They're all running over here at the door again. Somebody do damage. He's gonna die next hit. Tevin is gonna attack. Tevin does just enough. Fuck me. Cool. The most unintentional masturbation on stage. Like, and I beat my own monster. Glad you bought tickets. Like, it's like, God damn it.
Thanks for being here and witnessing. That was the best, for me, that was the best part of that challenge was that Dominox was in the middle, which the creepy girl imagery, no thank you very much, every time. Fuck
I
you.
wasn't expecting to do that until we were in the scene, and I was like, oh, that'd be a fun thing for him to appear as.
Horrible. It's horrible. We got in there. Tevin doesn't want to help Dominox, even though we're like, yeah, we'll help Dominox. It'll help with the fight against lewdness. So we're stuck there, and then we get into the chamber on the other side of the room, and there's lewdness coming back this way going, don't help the demon. We're like, fuck!
Yeah.
That was a great tug of war.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a number of different ways that fight could have gone. I mean, all of them would have at least ended at the same point, but all would have had different reverberations to how things went. So I wasn't sure how it was going to play out.
Yeah, as soon as lewdness started saying, don't do this, that's what you want to do. You want to piss off lewdness, but you can't. You can't.
And also, like,
Choice is yours.
you're trying to interpret the way he says it, because if it's like, don't do that, you're like, fuck you,
Yeah.
Dad. But he was saying it in such a, like, an appealing way.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. You're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You're the enemy for
Yeah.
all these episodes.
It was great.
Let's just hit it and see what happens. That's just, yeah.
That was an option. But you did
so
summon a devil knight with a blood oath against demons,
Yes.
and then brought in a new character who also is devil aligned and for that reason also hates demons. And it just made it very complicated. It made a very complicated scenario, more so than I had originally anticipated when I was like thinking about this eventuality, you know, a few episodes back.
Yeah.
I don't watch our show. Did Fern summon Tevin for a specific reason?
You were busy.
Yeah.
Yes, because they were talking about demons and this entity Dominox. The more they began to learn about this kind of demonic presence here in the ruins, then the group was like, oh, you got your devil boyfriend. They hate demons. Maybe he knows more about this. And so then she called him in. And
So it was thought out.
it was thought, I mean, as thought out as anything ever
Sure,
is.
sure.
With,
I think
this
thought
group.
out as much as
Sure, why not?
we've got Essek. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
why not? We've got Essek. We're down here in Aeor. We're potentially going up against some fiendish entity,
Yeah.
right? We weren't sure it was a demon. Then,
That's true, yeah.
And I think we had talked about the fact that, like, during the FCG fight and stuff, I think everybody had blanked on the fact that she had the ability to summon Tevin, which, you know, hindsight being 2020, if it was going to be a massive throwdown, we should get the perspective of a devil.
Yeah.
And that's where we figured out Grand Demon.
Yeah,
right,
like a lot of the
before
ancient
time,
history of what Dominox represented, how long Dominox had been gone.
which made it way worse.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, too, Dominox, when you were fighting him, was in a very weakened state because he had only fed on the Ruby Vanguard. It was kind of like piecemeal, and
It's
was
been a very long time.
yeah.
I forget that's how demons work. That they have to, like, feed off of people's insecurities.
I mean, it depends on the demon. Sometimes they just physically devour them. It depends on the type of demon. Some of them feed off of a negative emotion. Some of them feed off of their souls. Like it all can vary depending on whichever mythology you're pulling it from.
Bad smells?
Yeah, bad smells. You know, bad feng shui.
Ooh.
If they fuck up their furniture. It's
Wait, so if this guy fed off of insecurity, is that why he hung them from hooks? Wasn't to like kill them outright, it was to keep their like insecurity batteries going?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh!
And also,
Oh! What the fuck?
That's how I feel whenever I'm hung on a chain for days.
man,
Really
Mercer?
insecure.
Dry-aged insecurity.
well, it also comes with like, if once he gets enough out of their emotional state, then just feeding on their soul. And so that's kind of where like the death in the chain is. And a lot of them, he also needed help to detach from the soul anchor. And nobody present was able to help him with that. So he just made them food. He was like, can you help me destroy the soul anchor? No? Good. All right, how about you? No? Murder your friends. All right, cool. Like, him just was in a very weakened state, and if he had been released, would have been left out in Exandria to get to full power again.
But we perma-killed him.
You did. He's gone.
In his, thanks to Ludness's super strong gate spell.
9th level gate
Ninth
spell.
level.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was tripping out when we got the soul anchor in the bag of holding and then tried to move away with it, and he was like, "Arr!" like just pulled him across the room.
Yeah, there was this interesting, like, when you all did that, I didn't think about that scenario, and I was like, how would this all interact? And into my head it was like, all right, so it would drag him, like likely as it's pulled away, but then pushing him through the gate puts him beyond the boundary. Like it'd be kind of thing where like he kind of rubber bands a little bit, where it's like if you move away, slowly he gets dragged along with it. The soul anchor is a thing. When you put it in the dimensional plane, does it dispel it? In my head, it was like, no, it's still a strong enough magic where the enchantment would still be tied to the item that's holding it.
Right.
So it still keeps it there. So it was still dragged, but it's still rubber banding effect. So he gets like pushed through the portal, and then if he was like there too long, it would slowly pull him back through. Like I was trying to do all these like logic calculations in the moment because I was like, I didn't even think about that because I didn't.
That plus 2 characters and a grand demon all in your head, and tracking all of us as players.
Crowd.
I slept really well that night.
Yeah, I don't understand. That is bonkers.
And everybody looked so good in our little costumes and outfits.
I loved the little
Everyone did
costumes.
great.
Were great.
Yours was custom made.
Yeah, well, yeah, they couldn't find the right pants, so
They made them.
yeah. Well, they bought 2 different because there was
Was it
these.
Jenny?
Well, Jenny bought the pants because it was 2 different sets, and then Manzi, who does a lot of our other
Shout out Jenny and Manzi.
Jenny Manzi, they're amazing.
Much love. Sewed the 2 pairs of pants together down the middle.
Did you keep them?
Sweet.
Yes. Oh yes.
And your RTA butt thing?
Was a rental. We had to return.
But the
They had
RTA
it just at Western Costume.
Oh,
like,
wow.
They were
They
like,
have
yeah, we
every
got just the
combination
thing.
of letters?
Yep. Yeah. They are huge critters. They were like, we're just preparing for any eventuality, Mr. Willingham. We love that stupid gnome.
No, but really, massive shout out to Manzi,
Yes.
who was sewing the letters of RTA onto the seat of those pants, basically up until
the show itself.
show.
Wow.
It was incredible. Shout out to
I-
both Jenny and Manzi.
Seriously.
It was. I don't know if it was a semi-late note, but I was like, can we just get some iron-on letters for the butt? And Jenny looked at me and she was like, kind of. We'll come up with something. It's like crushed velvet, so if you did, it would just like melt the fabric. So they were in there sewing it in. I was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. And it was literally up until the minute before we went on. Like I think we held for a couple minutes because I had to come down with letters on
I
my
kept
butt.
having to give updates of like, nope, Travis is still in wardrobe.
I'm the problem.
Still in wardrobe. Nope.
I'm the
Man,
problem.
I
3
missed
more
all-
minutes.
I missed all of that. I was asleep.
Were you? You were.
I fell asleep 10 minutes before the show started, and I slept a half
One of
hour.
those nice air-conditioned rooms.
No, just like where the makeup was.
Oh yeah.
Does somebody come wake you up and be like, you're on stage now?
Yes, they did.
Oh,
they,
shit.
They came on. They woke me up and they're like, "You have to get in costume now because it's time." But yeah, I was on so many drugs that I was just like,
Oh man.
Oh, buddy.
never know it.
Man.
Speaking of drugs, the visions.
Speaking of drugs.
Was that based off of how poorly we rolled on the check? Because I feel like some people's visions were super gnarly, and others were like more torturous.
I think it depended on the individual, and like it was partially the role and partially like kind of whoever got chosen for these, what was either an immediate concern, or if they had no immediate concerns, what was a deep-seated like insecurity they could pull from.
Yeah.
And like Chetney, I was like, he doesn't have a lot of like immediate concerns. He's kind of like that very much that kind of, I don't give a shit, fuck all, I'm 400 years old, I could die any minute, I don't care, kind of vibe.
That's so good.
Like-
Actually, that's really, really
Like
solid.
and so when I was building these encounters, I was like, what would get to him? He makes toys for children. Like the possibility of having killed these children would be a terrifying thing to get to him. And it was kind of like a slow roll of visions to see who he could either feed from versus who could help him free himself from the soul anchor. And that was where like he began to see these thoughts and visions and ideas that would like prey into their insecurities, prey into the things they feared, and then when they felt a little challenged or broken, to then give them the opportunity to correct it or to fix this fear, to do right by this insecurity, to destroy this pinion and free the demon. If you didn't, then you were food.
It was horribly effective for for one reason. I feel like in our games there are moments when we make a character and there's backstory and there are things that we've filled in, but I think after 10 years we've learned to like leave little gaps because we know that you'll come in and plus it and add things, and we don't know when that's going to happen. And so when my when my vision started, and you started saying about like you're in the wilderness and there are these children and you've got your blood on your hands, you're doing all these things. I was like, did this shit happen? did this shit happen? And you're saying I repressed it, or is it an illusion? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
That was the goal.
Well, it worked. I was so stuck. So I just refused it. I
But mind
refused it out of existence.
You don't know if it was just a vision still.
Yep.
It's not true. I would have remembered such a horrible thing. I wouldn't repress something like that.
Nah.
No, it's not true, Danny. No, it's not true.
It better not be true. I'll be sad.
Yeah, me
You wanna
too.
know?
I wouldn't do that.
You would not do that. No.
No, I make toys.
Yeah.
But with the werewolf?
Do you make toys out of guilt for killing children?
No. Legitimately, like because
Is that why they call it
because
redwood?
oh no, well no, because in your story with like when your transformation took place in a region when you couldn't control yourself, was in a region that was nowhere near any sort of like children wandering.
That's right. That's
like,
true.
Like you were over in the
South of
south of Meliasmere in the south of Learwood.
yes.
Also, isn't there a thing that if you drop to a low enough HP, you just kind of go feral?
I did in the early days, and then post the Gorgine stuff, I can choose to drop into it.
Yeah.
So, I think shit could have happened. I'm just saying.
Embrace it.
Well, the first blood hunters you met gave you the ability to kind of give a little more control over that transformation. That was the beginning of your journey into the Order of the Lycan, was before you would come to the large part of civilization.
Right.
So if it gives you any calm, Travis, likely didn't happen.
Calm, Travis.
Is it
Likely.
Is it a
Calm, Travis.
is it a critical role like party if somebody hasn't accidentally or unintentionally killed a kid somewhere in their backstory?
But that's the thing.
I know.
I
Marisha's
don't
job.
want that.
Yeah, she already did that. That's one and done now.
Caleb only killed his parents, not children.
Okay, so I have a question because
Yeah.
ever since Brennan Lee Mulligan's Calamity, now into all of the new stuff that with him coming on board, this machine, the Occultist Thalamus.
Yes.
So, can you speak on what it does and how it looks like it has been used in the past?
Yeah. It's more or less an arcane black box. At least it is now, meaning the final moments of the city and some facets that are retained in it. It is a damaged device. Like it's not all completely there, but what remains is like the final kind of almost like echo recorded history of the final moments of the city. But the technology behind it was designed technically for what's the word I'm looking for? Not security, surveillance. It was yeah.
Because it tracks
Oh,
anybody that's in the city and what they were doing.
It tracks and records their essence.
Yeah.
There's a number of devices within Aeor that are developed around the the understanding of divine power and divinity. That's what made them so dangerous to the Pantheon. That's what led to the creation of the Factorum Malleus, was they were the first to crack a number of the secrets of divine magic. And part of this technology was kind of based around that. So it could like essentially read souls to a certain point. It could like glean information and record where people were in the city, what their essence was, and if it were to be referred to during that, after that recording, then someone would be able to like kind of glean where they were, almost like a massive Minority Report sort of, to arcane technology in the city. So yeah, this was what Ludinus's team had begun to uncover information about and were trying to get to before the proximity to the Nox engine made it very difficult to acquire something that has some possibly very important information for Ludinus's plans.
And it was invented just at the very tail end of Aeor, or?
It was invented towards the end of its era, not like the very, very end.
Oh,
But like the peak of its prominence and technological prowess.
Yeah, there's an order to it, to their kind of divine-based development. There are like wards that, the first thing they developed probably was like wards to prevent the gods from looking into the city.
Yeah.
Which is what originally kind of got them to go, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then other developments, then one of the gods tried to go to the city to be like, we can't look in here, that makes me nervous, I'm gonna go there myself, and they were repelled. And if there's technology to prevent the gods from entering your city, that's real bad. So yeah, that kind of triggered the unique era that leads up to the end of Aeor.
And was it only in Aeor, or all the cities had this sort of device?
Aeor. They were the Manhattan Project of the Age of Arcanum. But now we get to explore facets of that.
Yeah.
In Downfall, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, fucking Brennan Lee Mulligan back in the chair. Okay, before we get to Brennan, so Ludinus shows up. He tells us not to help Dominox, and then afterwards, I was not expecting him to reason with us. I was surprised. How did you feel about his?
Like a totally normal guy.
I thought he was either going to like grab and do a snatch and grab, or like throw us further down in there. Yeah, I was not expecting the talk. Although once it started, I was just okay. No, this is too weird. If we try and fight this, it's just us being stupid at this point.
Do we have any theories, knowing that he is in Aeor, he's looking at this device that looks at the history of the city, like what he needs from there, what he's doing on the moon, like?
I have theories. Nothing I want to throw out there yet, but
Yeah, save it for the game.
I'm saving my theories for the game. I will even say I have theories that Ashton doesn't have, but that's...
Well, if he's looking specifically at the end of Aeor, is there someone that he's trying to focus in on? Or is it
Could
just
be.
some spell, like the divine repelling magic? Or...
Buddy.
But like, is there...
Keeping it in theme today.
Jerk. Got him. I'd finally purged.
But if there was like someone in charge that he could like zoom in on, enhance.
Yeah, he was so personal.
It's a whole city of fuck you to the gods. I'm sure that there's nothing but stuff in there that is either helpful historically or otherwise. Of like it was an entire city state of people figuring out how to do what he's doing.
And he's showing Bell's Hells this because he's already watched this episode and he knows what happens.
He's like there's only so much time. There's a lot of broken information, but a lot of information in this that is not pertinent. He's had time to kind of sit with it, to find something that is very important to him, and is now showing that to you for reasons he has.
Shit.
Man.
Oh man.
It's fun. It's complicated.
Brennan comes in with such a thunder. Can I ask how long you had been cooking that one up in your secret kitchen?
Since January.
Jesus!
Yeah.
What?
Well, me and him had lunch. We get lunch every now and then just to like catch up and hang out because we're both fucking busy. But I like him very much. And in the middle of this conversation, we were talking about Calamity, and he whenever he talks about it, you can see that kind of fire in his eyes. Like he had so much fun running it, and I had so much fun, watching him do it. And I mentioned, are there other stories in the Calamity era that you want to explore? And he was like, well, I mean, Aeor is something that's something I think would be a lot of fun to do. And I was like, well, interestingly enough, there may be an opportunity in the campaign with the themes that we're exploring that ties into that I was going to possibly explore in a small way, but if you're interested, we can explore it in a much bigger way. And so that's where we started talking about it. Instead of doing like me doing a little montage of information, to actually have it be like a mini series within the main campaign that is experienced by the party. And so that was kind of where we started talking about it then. And then it was me being like, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'll let you know when we're getting close. And in the meantime, we'll talk and iterate, and he'd ask questions, and we'd meet on Zoom and talk through Aeorian history and themes and factions, and then, kind of like giving him all the pieces that I had developed and the many spaces that I hadn't, and then letting him kind of run and build. And Danny's been wonderful, working with both of us and kind of keeping all that thread together as well. So thank you, Danny. You're the best.
Do my best, man. I don't know what you guys want.
But yeah, so we just kind of throw things at each other in the months until we started getting close to it. And we weren't even planning to have this be the Greek show. We were just as the schedule was being filled out and the beats, the narrative, it's there's a very good chance, in the month leading up to it, that this is going to happen at the Greek. And we're like, hey, Brennan, is it okay if you do this? By the way, you guys didn't know that this was going to happen, so we were aside from maybe Marisha, because she had to know for production reasons, being the head of production, to schedule and send him up there. But we were Brennan's going to MC for this, and but didn't know he was going to come in for the final bit of it to carry over. So yeah, it was a fun surprise for everybody when we got to the end of the show. That was rad.
Yeah. He came out as best Ziggy Stardust, and I was like, no.
The eyes, man.
Yeah.
The eyes were a lot.
I was sitting up the side of the stage, and it was the first time I had seen the prompter, or it's not the prompter, the projector screen they have of the footage of it. And when he sat down with the makeup and just looked up right at the camera, I was like, oh, that's rad. Yeah, it was good. It was great.
Yeah, he came up to me and was like, I'm cosplaying as a camera. And I was like, everyone's gonna get that. That will require no explanation.
Is that the flare on his forehead, a little camera flare?
It's fucking perfect.
I love it. I love it.
I can't wait to see where it goes. Only have to get more sweet extended Exandria lore. Yeah. That's just
it's a part of
the
history.
buffet grows. It's so good.
Dude, the fall of Aeor is something I'm wanting to explore for years. Since I first touched on it in the early lore, when I was building larger Exandrian history. This is back in campaign 1 stuff. I've been wanting to come back and touch more on that, and I was always how do I do it? When does it make sense? When is it viable? And after what Brennan did with Calamity, I was I actually I think I want somebody else to do this. I could do it, but I love being the being more of a...
You're an idea guy.
Yeah! No, I was gonna say a little more like contemporary Exandria, and then Brennan becoming this unexpected Calamity era gem. It kind of it made more sense. And after he exhibited his interest, I was like, bro, just go, please. Yeah. Let's do it.
Sam and I were talking about this. One of the, especially around the animated series, is one of my favorite things is whether you come in campaign 1, campaign 2, your look into Exandria is so different between the campaigns. Mm-hmm. And if you came in for 3 and you're catching up on 1 and 2, or if you've just seen Calamity, then you're getting literally one start of the timeline versus 850 years later. And those little injection points are so unique. As we're dealing with the deities and the Legend of Vox Machina, the way the characters revere those deities is so much different than how Jester interacts with, the Traveler, and how the perspective
doesn't give a shit about them.
Yeah. they're humanized and the perspective is going to change. So I mean, the more we get, the more it just allows us to, at least for us, build things into the show, which is really, really cool.
That's one of the really cool aspects about going and revisiting these campaigns in animation is, as happens, I didn't build everything in Exandria at once, and then we're just slowly meeting through it. Like, I'm building pieces as we go, and then and now other people have come and built pieces too, and so now they get to revisit. We can thread some of the other facets that we've now explored into, earlier narratives in really fun little ways that, you normally wouldn't have the opportunity to, and you guys have been rocking it on that.
We're having too much fun. Okay, amazing. It's Tower of Inquiry time. It's time for a question. It's very simple. We take turns pulling blocks from the tower. Danny Carr reads us the corresponding fan question, and we each give our own answer. Oh yeah, sorry. What happened?
I got fully attached to my chair.
I get attached to my furniture too.
Oh, Danny.
And if for some reason the tower should fall, the person responsible will be forced to do a hyper-specific celebrity impression for the entirety of the C block. Oh my God, blame Matthew Mercer for not believing in life after love.
One of the worst moments of my entire life.
Sam, honors to you.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. First pull is yours, sir.
I'm just grateful to be able to do it.
Yes.
Hey, buddy.
Bloop. Oh, 51.
Nice.
51.
Ooh, fresh tower.
Blah, blah, blah. That's really far down. Okie dokie. Well, this one's fun. Okay, from Bethy.
Bethy.
You're a powerful magic user in the Age of Arcanum living in Aeor. What experimental monstrosities would you be creating? And would they survive in the ruins? What would they look like in the present time?
That's a fun question. Hell yeah.
I feel weird answering this, considering that I can say I'm spent some time in Aeor at this point, so
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
That's right.
That's
so
true.
I have some real opinions.
I would say I would make a giant toad that would spit blue globules of time-preserving energy.
Whoa.
And it would find people in Aeor and spit blue domes on them and preserve them in that.
Oh, you just want?
Yes.
You want to know
You're
what those
becoming
guys
the lord
are?
of those?
I made that
lord
toad.
that?
It's canon. There we go.
No.
Amazing.
Upper body of a toad, the back legs
This is gonna
of a
negate
pony.
some things.
Yep. I'm just making the answer right now.
You can make anything.
That's
Yeah.
the question, yeah.
Powerful archmage.
I mean, like Netflix. No, I don't know. I'd make
You would
Netflix.
disrupt the entertainment industry in Aeor?
Yeah. I can make any movie I want when I want it.
That's not Netflix anymore,
I want
babe.
people to take my platform and chill.
Taliesin, what you got?
Until that point, they had to teleport little discs to your house.
Yeah, and then transition it
Sometimes
over.
was really-
send it back.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole invocation.
Wow, that was-
You're really.
The frustrating thing is you can only watch 20 words at a time.
I mean, knowing too much, I would actually say that I feel like some sort of that they would be really into like a meal substitute, like a really good, like liquid diet. Don't have to
Space food or something?
Space food. I think they would be really into that, of just like really easy raw consumables, so you just didn't have to think about it. That would be my thing. Soylent. I wasn't gonna say Soylent, but Soylent. Magic Soylent.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, it turns back into its core components after 24 hours, which, depending on what
It's
you made
made
it out
of
of,
gods.
good or bad. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I also know too much.
I know it's rough.
You know
So I
too
built
much?
the place.
You know too much?
I would, if I was a powerful archmage at the height of the Age of Arcanum within Aeor, I would develop a creature that could negate arcane tracking, couldn't be seen or tracked, could bypass true sight even.
Whoa.
I mean, if that height, if I'm talking about it, and could emanate an anti-magic field as part of that. It would be the perfect assassin to take out the other high-end mages that would compete with my position in power.
I will change mine really quickly. I would have created a magic vacation home so I wasn't there when everything went down.
Also viable.
Thank you. Nice lake house.
Very good.
Arcane lake house.
That was good, Matt. You should start a campaign. And because that was such a good answer, you can go pick from the tower.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Don't break this one.
Did you break the last one?
Yeah, I did. And I still wake up in cold sweats.
Careful. Careful.
These towers, they're like my worst nightmare. I don't like it.
Yeah, I got you, man. It's like weirdly
That and jazz.
sticky.
I swear
No, it's
we
just
didn't do
tension.
it again.
No, it's just the
Contour?
tension.
Matt.
Did it almost happen again?
This has been 1 block, Matt. 1 block.
What did I say?
40.
40.
Look, I just about shat myself right there. I was like, oh, Bucker.
From Sophie Birchwood.
Sophie Birchwood.
Names are great.
Hi.
Being an adventurer can be stressful and traumatizing. When making characters, how do you make sure your character have and keep enough motivation to start/keep going? Have you ever had a character that's been close to just saying nope and quit? Sam Riegel.
All the time. It's the hardest thing to justify. Because if you have a character that has any sort of a life other than this adventuring party, they eventually will want to get back to it. If they have a life that they ran away from, we have such long campaigns that a lot of times they can make amends with the people who wronged them or get revenge on the person who betrayed them or apologize to whoever or see their dad and win his respect. And so then you want to go back to that life again. And if, it's so hard. All my characters want to leave.
Scanlan wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Terry resolved his shit.
Not wanted to go back to her family.
Totally changed, wanted to go back.
I mean,
Put herself in harm's way.
Fresh Cut Grass wanted to make amends with Dancer and stuff, but if the Changebringer had been more available to Fresh Cut Grass, I don't know, maybe he would have been like, peace.
Yep.
I'm going to go join a temple.
Yeah.
Obby the Rat was fulfilled very quickly.
Yeah. Deep backstory.
Deep cut.
Love
Deep
an
cut.
hobby reference.
Yeah.
No, it's
Year
hard,
of
it's
our
hard to
Lord
make
2024.
a fully formed, realistic character who just wants to go around killing people for 3 years.
Sure. You got to find it.
Yeah.
That's where the rust on certain systems begin to show.
Yeah. Yep.
Or builds, right?
Yeah.
It's the incentive to make it super, super deep and to have those gaps that the story and the DM can fill in. And if you don't do that, then if you resolve your character too quickly, you might be like, oh.
Yeah. My quest is over.
Well, as long as you build them with like a really inappropriate work-life balance and some severe issues and social and emotional damage, they'll just keep working and working and working and ignoring their real life no matter what
That's
happens
also
in it.
very
It's
real
true.
trauma.
They have to be
Just give 'em
broken
trauma.
people.
I mean, you have to be kind of a broken person to want to adventure for a living.
Yeah.
You're inherently, you're so unfulfilled in your normal life that you're going to go and seek out caverns filled with monsters. And then after you barely survive a couple times, go let's keep going.
Yeah.
Let's do this again
Or I
and
could
again.
go home and make some meaningful relationships and become a tailor, do okay.
Yeah, and that's when you transition to other systems that are made for that.
Yeah.
That's where you go to some wonderful indie game like Cozy, RPG, where you start a bakery or become a tailor. All these can be congruent in the same world. You can jump systems in the same place and find a new character fulfillment, which is kind of fun.
One of my early builds before Campaign 3 was I was trying to make a joke out of having a character that was in a happy marriage that had kids that were healthy and had left the roost. He had everything that he wanted. It was not troubled or damaged in any way. It lasted less than 3 days. So, I started writing, I was like, God, I hate this guy. I can't relate to this at all.
hobby or something. What's wrong with you?
First game of the campaign, he's like, you know what, guys, I was wrong. I'm gonna go home.
Yep.
Have fun.
This is uncomfortable. I think I'm going to go back to my bed. See ya.
I really miss fresh coffee. Bye. Yeah, that's That's kind of the challenge of the GM for long form campaigns, is to make sure that you can at least build stories that keep the players engaged and the characters feeling like they have something to work for. But also, that's not just the GM's responsibility, it's also the player and GM to work together. And if the player's feeling like, my character's a little aimless, or like, what can I do? What can happen at this point? My character's thinking about leaving. Then you have a conversation with the GM. I had that conversation with Liam about Caleb. Caleb almost left the Mighty Nine partway into campaign 2. Like, he was like, Caleb wants to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you want him to go, you can. You can make a new character, and he's off in the world, which means he's mine.
Yeah. Give him to be.
Yeah, and I started.
Liam was like, well then no, he's not going to go.
I mean, that might have been actually how it went. But he was thinking up like other alternative characters, and then like some conversations in game kind of turned him around, and he ended up like making amends with some of that tension in the group.
That's why I love making a carny, is I love a character with Wanderlust. They're like, are you going to settle down? This is settled down.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, is sadly, but inevitably was travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why stop?
That's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an alternate reality somewhere where, like, I was thinking about what to do with Caleb if he ended up kind of vanishing into the shadows, and like, eventually he could have, if he missed him, bring him back. But in my head, I was like, what if he was like, what if Trent found him and he became a Volstrucker again? Yeah. And began to like hunt you guys down. Like, there was a lot of cool alternative realities that could have been really awful. Thankfully that didn't happen. Instead he found a boyfriend and settled down, which I think was for the best for Caleb. Yeah.
That is amazing. Thank you, Bethy and Sophie Birchwood. If you have a question for our Tower of Inquiry, you can enter it at critroll.com/tower. Now, it is time to slide into the deep dive, where lorekeeper Danny Carr serves us beverages made out of words, and we drink them with our imagination.
Does that mean you're getting a new cup?
I know.
Is that what's...
It does.
Oh, wow.
And I have a temporary cup.
It negates your current
cup. Is what it does.
An interim cup?
New cup.
I love it.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
y'all really answered a lot of these during your what the fuck is up with that?
That's great.
Sorry.
That means we
No,
just
no.
burn. Yeah, we just burn them if one doesn't happen.
That
Or
mean-
go deeper.
That means they're good questions.
Yeah.
Or deep dive.
Taliesin takes
Since
it.
I got to skip by. All right. What went through Ashton's mind upon seeing FCG in their vision from Dominox? Is there any truth to the insecurity around that death that Dominox foisted upon him? Oh boy. So.
Yeah, hit us. I feel like an ass. I didn't ask you about your vision.
No.
Terrible friend.
I knew we'd get there.
I was gonna say it.
Fuck.
I know. I don't hold it against you because I'm a good friend.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I feel like Ashton has seen enough people die at this point that they kind of know the ins and outs of that emotional process, and definitely has some guilt about not allowing necessarily, but knowing that this was a very, very real possibility the entire fucking time, and saying it out loud several times. Like, this is what's going to happen to this tiny robot. You all know, right? We have to do something about this.
Yeah.
Like, really over and over again, and it's there, and definitely the feeling that they could have said more to put it to get them not there at the time. Everything that Ashton did say is absolutely true about how they felt about it. But I should also point out, and I don't know if anyone caught it, that while he started relating to the demon and ignoring the vision, about a third of the way through, started talking to FCG instead, even though he knew that was the like, oh shit, he's in it now.
Yep. I
Fuck.
that. Because I was waiting for that. I was like, oh, he's ignoring. Oh no, I got him.
Yeah, I was like, because he was like, I know better. But no, I have shit to say. I don't care. It's like, oh no.
It made me very happy.
Thank you.
In a horrible way.
I'm glad you noticed. So yeah, it really. There's some other stuff that will come up in the next episodes, but yeah, that's weighing.
Shit. All right.
You're up.
I'll go. Travis and Taliesin.
We're friends again.
Oh, yeah. What do Chetney and Ashton think of Laudna's battle with Delilah and her taking the sword from Orym? Do they trust their friend, and do they see parallels with their own stories? I would say,
You first?
I would say yes for Chetney. I also had to say yes for Ford. Like, same thing. That the Warlocky patron stuff is so fucking
It's tasty.
hard to ignore and juicy to play as a player. I definitely yes for Chetney because it's a pursuit of power that he never had in his previous 400 years. There's no way he's giving it up or saying no. Or if someone offered like a cure, fuck that. Get out of here, right? The fact that it came at the expense of the group in such a public way, where I still don't know, maybe only Marisha could say, like who had the most control over it, was when she was having the conversation with Orym back and forth, like how much of it was Laudna and how much of it might have been Delilah, right? But yeah, I saw the similarities.
Literally, I couldn't tell you. That Mercer would have to tell you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Ashton. He wants to trust her with all his heart and will actively do it with effort, but also sees a lot of their own struggles in there and knows how easy it is to fall off that horse and fuck up real bad. And because of that, we'll probably end up sort of siding with her more often than
Yeah.
is probably healthy. That's the best I can kind of say is
That's weird. They seem like
Yeah.
a very healthy person. Ashton.
It's inherent also in the play, right? Like we're going up against deities and ancient cities and lewdness who's 1,000 years old or whatever the fuck. So anytime there's a chance to grab something that might level you up or give you more power or make you more formidable in your defense or offense against those things, like you're gonna take it.
Yeah.
Ramifications be damned, right?
and her experience of them when they were when Ashton was going through their own version of this is the appropriate thing to do, definitely had an effect, and also being there when everything kind of went to hell when the group was split and I don't want to say encouraging it yet. It didn't encourage it, but definitely watching that happen. There's some guilt. It's very complicated, but we'll probably side with her almost unless she really hurts somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Oh yeah.
You.
I'm next.
Take it.
Question. Matt, what was it like to perform at the Greek theater, especially this crux in the story, and to get how you want to do this at a live show? Well, I've already expressed my embarrassment at getting my own killing blow, but no, that was wild. I've been to the Greek theater for a number of shows, a number of concerts over the
What
years.
have you seen there?
I've seen Liam took us to the Decemberists there. I've seen churches there.
Yes, we have.
I've seen Heilung there.
Dang, you saw Heilung at the Greek.
Yeah, dude. That was the first time I saw them. And it was incredible. Open air, it was so good. We dragged you to a show. It was so good. I've seen quite a few shows there, and I think actually the first time I was there, I was maybe 12,
Wow.
and 12 or 13, and I saw a West Side Story there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've been going to the Greek for a long time in my life, and so having all these memories there, and all these different shows and performances, and then now being on stage there and seeing it from the other side. I remember walking out on stage when they were setting up before sound test and being like, this is crazy. Like all the memories flooding back and being like, oh, now we're on this end.
Yeah.
And then having all the energy of the audience there. Everyone was so excited, even mid-afternoon when it was way too hot, and we were all like, hey, we're so sorry. Yay, open air. It gets better as it goes on.
Yeah.
But everyone was still so excited and so sweet, and yeah, it
You
was
gotta love the
crazy.
wisdom of the audience. We were like, you guys are hydrating, right? Half the audience just held up a beer.
I mean, same.
Like, water also, please. But okay.
No, it was incredible, and a lot of things culminated there beyond just the history. Getting to finally do a Bell's Hells live show,
Yeah.
in canon, which
Yeah,
we haven't done
big.
yet with this campaign, coming off of the whole, the terrors of the mid-pandemic, and then having you finally come back on stage with us was incredible. Getting to bring Robbie into this live show experience was wild. He's always phenomenal, but like, yeah,
I loved his entrance where he came out and he was like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to play a flute because he's a bard.
Which is when I knew he's one of us.
Yep.
I don't know what to do with my hand.
Yep. There is no more Critical Role cast experience than, why am I here?
Yeah, what is
How
Does this relate to the sponsor on any level?
It was great. Sam.
Okay.
Oh, nice. And then you just pick one?
Sure.
Dig it.
What was the inspiration for Braius Doomseed? I think I talked about this some. Well, I was trying to figure out what to do, and I also considered coming back in as Tarion, or as Scanlan, or as
Son of
Haley, or somebody else.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like, I don't know, just didn't seem like the move. And
popping.
yeah, and we've never had a character who's like, well, besides Chetney, who's truly evil.
Yeah, sure.
And right, have we ever had a main player character who's like,
No, you're also not coming across as super evil, as more horny.
The
so-
closest
I'm
is Mighty
evil.
Nine. Was
Okay.
almost everybody in Mighty
horns.
Nine was on the edge.
yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, we've had moral ambiguity, we've had dubiousness,
yes.
and we've had guests who kind of fit into that kind of. But yeah, we've never had a PC who is and like I said, we haven't really established the alignment of
It's true.
Braius.
I don't know.
And
If,
But
we'll see.
But
I want to see how you manifest this because I don't know what your definition, especially through this character of like evil, quote unquote.
I don't
really
know
is.
what it
So
is either.
I'm kind of curious if it's like if
Yeah.
it's going to be like anywhere from like Good Omens
watch that.
to a tick villain.
you should read it.
You know?
It's a really good book.
It is a really good book too, but like yeah, great book.
Yeah, I've only played as Braius for an hour and a half or whatever, so I gotta figure out what he is.
It means
Yeah.
if you're going to be evil, you got to start doing some evil shit.
But once again, it depends on what is evil, or at least what is following in the Lord of Hell's path. What does that entail?
No, Matt, he's got to kill people. He's got to kill them next game or he's out. Like,
Make your own choice.
you got to kill half the group. Don't listen to him. You got to kill people.
Paladin, does being good turn you into an oathbreaker?
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
I know, right?
I mean, it's breaking an oath, yeah, technically.
I mean,
Depends
that's-
on what's in the oath. I swear
Also-
to
well,
but
do
also-
evil
also
things.
good is this is so relative.
All the time.
Well, to be fair,
Oh,
the
no.
Oathbreaker is the idea of the evil paladin, but it doesn't. Look, the Oathbreaker I think is misnamed and misutilized. Unfortunately, I think it's an option that only plays into the idea of a paladin being a good character, but also but then it's a Oathbreaker, which means you broke your oath. You're a fallen, paragon of this virtue. But then that means you're now evil and necrotic. It's like, no, there should be more. Anyway, I do
Feels like,
not.
What's the Latin for broke up over text message? I feel like that's kind
Yeah,
of.
I feel thematically the Oathbreaker is unfinished. I think it's a little
Yeah.
undercooked. But
I will finish it.
You will.
You will
I will
6 feet underground.
make it a good.
Tally. Go.
Oh, yep. Going in. Let's see what we
Your
got.
cup is especially spiky.
Oh, yeah. I actually said more spikes when we were working on. How does Ashton feel after interacting with Essek and knowing that he might have answers about the Dunamancy in Ashton's head? Honestly, really, really bloody excited. I mean, I do too, but like, self-discovery and a little bit of understanding about what the hell is happening inside them is definitely, I guess it's the Exandrian version of like, I have healthcare. Wait a minute. I have all this shit I need to check out. Am I okay? I'm gonna just get this as far as I can.
This thing that keeps happening to me has a name?
Yep.
I don't care if you can't fix it. It has a name.
That is very, very real.
And there was this. I mean, the characters began at a very, very specific place of, I'm never going to get answers about any of this because I'm a broke-ass motherfucker who works for an evil villain. you don't get answers if you're a like a barely employed mid-level video game boss. It's just not where. So they just really come to accept that, like, whatever the hell this was, it was just going to be a mystery, and they were fine with that. So suddenly having access to all this is really exciting, just in the sense of like, okay, I can actually maybe get better at this, and that's crazy.
It'd be cool if it unlocked like a something.
Yeah. I mean, any of it is really, even if it didn't, just knowing is now
You'd be like,
such a good step of self-discovery for a character who was really not disinterested, but didn't think about it at all.
Very interested to learn more about this too.
Yeah.
You are an absolute fucking anomaly.
Oh yeah, I'm
For a person who studied Dunamancy for the extent of his, century-long life, pretty much at this almost, like, he look at you and went, what?
Oh, and they just started
Hold
thinking
on.
like, well, this, I mean, like after everything that happened with the fucking stones, they're like, could this hurt somebody? Is this a thing that could just go off randomly? Because I just don't think about it, because that's just existential dread.
Yeah.
So
Well, you are by nature. Ashton is a being of volatility, both persona and your physical makeup right now. You are ancient primordial Titan element, Dunamancy.
Fern without the charm. Yeah, no, aware. That's a mangerish.
That's it. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
It's very like, I have made this decision. It seemed like the good idea at the time.
The two of you are a dangerous pair.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Like when the two of you are making decisions together,
It
I'm like,
always
oh,
goes
this
poorly. It
gonna
is
go
actually,
poorly.
I've
I love
tracked it. It always goes poorly.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
great.
I'm attracted.
Like, yeah, we should do this.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got my hand's too big for the stupid. I'm gonna do the pour out thing. Oh, look, I'm one of the vision that Chetney received from Dominox was intense, showing him children he does not remember killing. Do you think this vision was real, or was it just a fear that he holds inside? I don't think it was real.
I think it was real.
Do a different one. As a lore hound,
You are.
what is it like to be back in Aeor? It's real good. It's real good. I was instantly intrigued by the giant creature with the big hammer that came around after we found the first bodies that had the Dominox symbol carved into their chest. My appetite was whetted yet again once we realized we were going up against a grand demon, which I had never heard about before, much less that it had been around long enough to be a myth for devils in the hells. Love that shit. And the fact that Lewdness came out and is now not preaching to us, but is talking to us like he's gonna need our help or wants to rationalize with us for something, means that he maybe needs something, and that we're gonna get a peek 800 plus years ago is fucking spicy, and I'm here for it. I love it. I love it because, as we said before, it just kind of expands the world and it gives us more stuff to play with, but it always gives us another peek into your mind that's been around for 10 years and cooking all this stuff up, and every time we get a little new glimmer of it. I don't know how you keep the lid on it for so long.
I don't.
Good. Do you write it down somewhere?
No, I do.
Okay.
I have a number of lore docs that I have per campaign, as well as like an overall lore doc, and like I'll have ideas. My notes on my phone are ridiculous because like I'll have just be driving and have like an idea, and then as soon as I park, I'll like put
Hey,
notes
Siri.
in there. Yeah. And I go back and cross-reference them all, and they all are illegible to anyone but me. But like it's, that's how I run. I just kind of spew it all onto the page, and then go back and try and make sense of it later.
Oh, I love it. All right, hit us.
Gabba.
All right. Did you expect the party to summon Tevin Clask? What was it like to portray him, Essek, Dominox, and Ludinus in the same game? No, I didn't expect it. Like, it's one of those things where I didn't expect her even to make a deal with him. Like, when he showed up, he was like a temporary ally in that one battle when they were, trying to deal with the aftermath of the solstice and everything, and the rising of clashing, divination with other things that are taking, using this as an opportunity. And then when he was there and started talking and started trying to work out some sort of relationship, I was like, okay, yeah, well, we'll see. Here's a little an improvised, you know, a little lure, a little red button that maybe she could push later, and I'll deal with that when that happens. And then I forgot about it.
Lure.
And then, yeah, like didn't even. I was like, I'll give her that, and I forgot about it. And then like, hey, you have that thing on your finger. Yeah, cool. She's not actually gonna do. They're doing it. Okay, here we go. Now he's in there, and then, as I said earlier, having all of them layered on top of each other with the responsibility of a live show where the venue's like, you have to be done by this time. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay.
You did a great job. I also love that all of us are completely ignoring the pact part of it. That there's like a back end to the deal.
It's on my mind.
Oh yeah.
What is the back end?
We don't know.
Yeah, she summoned Tevin, and then I think it was Imogen that was like, do you remember what the deal was? And we were like, who gives a shit? That's great.
She's just in some way, shape, or form bound to Osmodeus now, and it's fine.
That'll be fine.
No problem.
It's fine.
Great.
It's fine.
This is what we're here
Nana
for.
Mori, let's go.
What we're here for.
I mean, Fern's. You know when somebody like promises themselves to too many factions. Fern is spread thin across many different mindsets and perspectives, and I'm excited to see where that'll go.
The Fae, the Prime Material Plane, the Hells. Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah,
This could go full John Constantine.
I'm obsessed
You know
with
exactly
Fern
what I mean by that
Constantine.
too. Of just like, well, none of us really know what to do with
Yep.
this anymore. You're just
Literally
a mess.
Just Garthen as Constantine, and I am so living.
You know who they're talking about.
My forever.
No, I don't.
Yay, comic book nerd. Anybody who reads comic books currently in the audience knows what we're talking about. Fair.
Braius is clearly very interested in romance.
Wow. Look at the patience.
Well
The
played.
patience.
Wow.
He's back, baby.
What a wonderful recap.
Whoa. Look at the
I haven't thought about that in a long
man.
time.
That is
I'm
great.
proud of that shit.
As you should.
That-
I still that's I was happy I was able to reprise him all these years later. It took so much time to get the green makeup out of every nook and cranny after each shoot day.
Still finds it.
Talk about patience.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Good job.
I had to feel
That was
immersed.
good.
Sam, Braius is very interested in romance, judging by his flirtation with nearly everyone in the group. What does he look for in a partner? What would he write on his dating profile?
Oh, I actually am curious about this.
It's hell, they have Tinder.
Never gets dehydrated.
I mean, he's into
Really? Yeah.
any and everyone. On his dating, what do people put on? Like, what are the categories on a dating profile?
You know, the old ones used to be like must love dogs, right?
Love
Yep.
long walks on the
Not-
beach and candlelight dinners.
Yes. Nothing against if you that's your dating profile.
He's into art.
I don't know. I think it's the name of the movie.
He's into art and painting. He's tall. He's furry.
Oh no!
Is it a full coat of fur different lengths, or is there some no fur spot
No, I think he's head to toe fur.
all over?
Yeah.
Just like thin in the face, so it's the
Yeah,
more
it's just
humanoid features,
short hair.
yeah.
Shorter in the face.
And then like goat texture? Is it like stiff fur or is it more
really
soft?
haven't thought about
Horse
that.
hair?
I'm putting that out there.
Maybe he's furry everywhere, but he manscapes just. He's totally shorn.
Oh no.
Like,
Anything else he does his butt too.
are you manscaping in hell?
Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to be ready when opportunity strikes.
Hell.
Portion favors the prepared.
It just looks like that bad monkey face Jesus painting, but like right there. Oh no.
I think he's looking for a partner who's into evil, who's into devil worship, and who doesn't mind hot places like the Hells. And
Is it because he likes to cuddle?
yeah. He's sensitive.
Is he color averse?
Like like if you have color, he doesn't like you.
Like the Molly Mock outfit, would that be a turn off?
Yeah, I think that's too much for him.
It's too much,
I
that's fair.
think he
Okay.
sees the world in black and white, and it's just more beautiful that way.
Slowly work on you, take you on as a project, take you shopping, get some monochromatic pieces.
Yeah.
Do a little overhaul.
A lot of
Very
formal
very
wear.
weird Prussian sort of aesthetic. Okay.
And his ideal date would probably be getting some food from a trough. I don't know how minotaurs work.
Have a human face.
Yes, bulls eat from a trough.
And
Not a truck bed, not a hay bale.
I'm going to see the movie 8 Seconds, starring Luke Perry, which is his bull riding
bull riding
movie.
movie?
Yeah, bull riding movie.
Oh, mid-90s.
Oh my God.
Wow,
What
8
the fuck?
seconds. Holy shit. I saw that on like a bus trip in middle school. That's crazy.
I'm so
Not even an
happy.
airplane, a bus.
Wow. Yeah, it was a bus. I remember it.
I'm so happy to explore more with this
8
character.
Seconds. He saw the bull references. He could pull.
It's very impressive.
And he spent.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yep. That's it. He watches Night Court.
Because there's a character named Bull.
Correct.
Well done.
Huge Dragon Age.
Michael
influence.
Jordan.
Oh my
is his
God.
favorite athlete.
He doesn't play
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you. I got the sports ones. Oh, we needed this. Taliesin, help.
Okay. Yeah. No. Let's end this.
Night Court reference.
Yeah. Well done.
Wow. I just turned to ash at the
Night
table.
Court's back on TV.
Is it really?
It is.
Yeah.
There's a new Night Court.
Ashton has utilized the new rock form a few times now. What's it like to explore that form? Is it worth the exhaustion? People keep asking me to do it in the group, and I'm definitely like getting a little like. You realize that this is kind of awful.
Yeah. That's why we ask.
Push the button.
Yeah. Then I'm just basically useless for 2 games.
Oh,
Or at
because
least
the
a game.
exhaustion. That
Yeah.
comes after it. I admit
It is
that I
2 days
frequently
of-
forget about that part.
Yeah, it's got a big exhaustion
just
drop
want
on
the
it,
fun part.
which can be mitigated via spell with proper materials.
Like a restoration spell, or
Yeah, greater restoration can remove.
knock it,
I have
knock
one
a
of
day
those
out of it.
spells.
Knock a day or knock it completely? It just takes away 1 point.
Takes away 1 point.
It's
wait, how many points do you get?
2.
Ooh,
It knocks
that's
2
when
days.
it
It
starts
gives
to
me.
get bad.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
And they compound. So if I do it again, then I get more and more, and then eventually if you got enough exhaustion, you just die.
I don't think we've ever had a player character that had more than 3 levels of exhaustion. Nobody
Have
ever
we
hit
even
4.
had
You
3?
become pretty
Useless.
rough at 3.
What is 3?
plus.
Everything.
I think yeah. And I think 1 is ability
Ability
checks.
checks.
2 is movement reduction.
yeah.
And then 3 is your attacks are and I think
Always at
saving
disadvantage.
throws disadvantage.
Attacks
I'll
and
have to
saving
double
throws
check,
are a disadvantage if I
What's
recall.
4? Is there a 4?
There's
There's-
4, 5, 6, and 7.
What are those?
It just gets worse and worse and worse.
You know what?
I think you.
gotta
I think.
Find out.
You
Yeah.
gotta find out. You have one job to be that fucking master astronaut going deep past Pluto. What's that news?
You know, Fern can do this too. I'm just saying.
Yeah!
We can exhaust that character.
That's true.
We should have like a side bet. Who can get further down the exhaustion hole faster?
It's
We
a
could do
wonderful. Oh
We really
Lord,
could.
no,
Whoever gets
no.
the most exhausted in this campaign
Yeah.
gets like $10.
And the pot grows every episode.
Ooh.
That's pretty great. Yeah. I think at 5 points it actually affects your FICO score. Like it gets real rough in the lower points.
If you're watching this and you're like, well, the fuck is the FICO score? Don't worry. You'll care at some point.
At one point in your life.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like,
Go to
it's-
get a lift, and the guy's like, I can't pick you up. You're exhausted.
Sorry.
Like, hold on. A cat's great restoration. Okay, we're good. Come on.
Oh no. It's amazing. Yeah, it's expensive, and I seem to be doing it more than I thought I would be. But
It's useful when
it's
you use
pretty great. It is a good Hail Mary also.
It's meant to be a once every couple days sort of ability. And
You know who has those restoration spells? Clerics.
Oops.
So,
I don't think
paladins?
anybody.
Druids do.
Druids. Yes,
Druids
Fern has
We
it.
have a druid. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I
We just
forget
have to have
she's-
Ashton.
they also take they take like 1,000 gold worth of diamond or something stupid like that. They are expensive.
Yeah.
It can be pricey, but you also have a lot of resources at your disposal because this is a world-altering event.
Yeah.
Fair.
And the Bank of Chetney always has
Yeah.
favorable interest rates.
Speaking of which,
Yeah. On the road, it's tough. Like
I'll fund that.
legitimately, when
done.
I was saying, whenever you're returning to like any sort of hub space of allies that are preparing for the conflict or are in the process of defending the conflict, like, for the most part, whatever you need that's not like astronomical, you can have at your disposal. Alora's not going to be like, no, sorry, that's too expensive. Like, if Keyleth can help you with a greater restoration, she's going to do it.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you like it.
Now we're
it's
going
a,
back.
Yeah, it's a challenge when you're on the road, and that's kind of where the math of the balance of those abilities are. But if you come back to that and you have like 3 or 4 points of exhaustion, like someone can probably help you. But,
I like-
but
and
you
I
don't
like
know how
having-
soon you'll get back to those things.
I like having Ashton having a lot of mixed feelings about the whole thing.
and you
too.
should.
So,
That-
yeah,
that was the
it's
intent
nice.
of the balance.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Speed round?
Yeah, so
Speed round.
Okay. Which one do I want more? I don't know.
Do all of them.
What does Chetney think? Oh, sure, okay. What does Chetney think of having Dorian back, as well as this new Braius individual? I love it. First of all, Dorian makes everything better. Braius flirting with everybody, including Dorian, just makes Chetney supremely happy. I'm here for it. If only to see Dorian react awkwardly to the flirtation.
Oh, it's wonderful. Poor Dorian. Dominox, while impersonating Cyrus and FCG, mentioned trapped and lost souls in the post-solstice chaos. Was that just a twist of the vision, or are the souls truly stuck in limbo right now? No, that was just him trying to force them to help him free himself. It was them being like, hey, there's a reason things are bad here, and you can save it by destroying this thing that'll help me. It's
Manipulation.
trying to manipulate you through those moments of breaking your sense of confidence. Yeah.
Why did Braius appear to the group heavily wounded despite his own healing abilities? I feel like it happened recently, but also I thought that me appearing injured to the group might endear me to them more.
It did make you less intimidating.
Yeah.
Along with being found in a broom closet. Yeah.
What did Ashton and Chetney think of Ruidus and and Reloria? What are their thoughts about everything going on in the moon? The fuck?
Yeah.
Lightning round, go.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Great answer.
I can't figure out if like the Brutus was pulled from the ocean, from the land, where the hell the animals came from, who the hell are the weave mine? It's gnarly. The weave mine seemed to reconnect with Chetney on Ruidus. Because, respect for the smartest and most attractive. What do you think happened there, and what do you think it means that they have begun to weave back into him? They've clearly sensed power and leadership amongst the group,
Alphaness.
and they know,
And then they found you.
need an alpha at the top of each group, and that is a trickle-down weave mine tactic that's been around for 800 and how many years?
Don't worry about it.
Yep.
Right?
So much of the story is in building to downfall. What is it like to finally hand over the reins to Aeor's past? And is there anything you can tell the audience as you prepare for downfall? I'm super excited. There's nobody else I trust more with the story. Brennan does such an incredible job, and what we've been developing and what he's been developing is incredible. I am confident and scared and excited for all of you to check it out. And is there anything I can tell the audience to prepare for downfall? I will say the Occultist Thalamus uniquely stores more information from powers that are attuned to its arcane technology than even I think it anticipated, and it allows some unique perspectives during this series than maybe is anticipated. That's all I'll tease.
And Ludinus is sitting us down to watch this with him, right?
Yeah, he's literally like, I want to
this-
show you something.
Is this like when I
There are concessions.
tell my kids, like, hey, let's watch a movie that I loved as a kid?
That's
And I
exactly
put on Short Circuit, and I'm like, uh-oh. That guy, he should not be playing that part. Don't. Oh.
Fucking short circuit.
Did that really happen?
Johnny Five.
You know what? Let's
no.
watch something else.
Yeah.
I
Back
have
in me.
not-
Yeah.
I have not watched.
Don't.
Mac and Me's a classic.
I love it. Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Are we doing one more? What has it been like to see the outpouring of love for FCG? It's been so great. I loved all the art. I loved all the sadness. I drink your tears. Bell's House have even adopted his color scheme. I saw the new art. So cute. I think like 3 or 4 of you guys have chunks of his body on,
Yeah.
You're wearing
Don't
your
make
flesh.
it weird.
which is gross.
Don't make it weird.
Is anyone wearing his tongue?
I mean,
It's drying.
not
I
anywhere
can
where you
hold
can
it.
see.
What would FCG think of that memorial? He would love it, and he would say you shouldn't make such a fuss about him.
Oh, love it.
Ashton asked Fern to start cuddling with him, and she agreed. What does this new intimacy mean to him? How does Ashton feel the first night when they awoke and she was missing?
Did you guys have sex?
No,
I haven't been watching the show.
no.
It was just
We're
an
just.
ass
You guys 69 though?
I mean, it's not called that when it's.
Lava,
well, no,
lava.
never mind.
Lava.
It's called a Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Hey! Yeah, there you go.
yummy.
I'm gonna go to hell. Yeah, I honestly, they're not precious. Ashton is not precious about these things, and also doesn't really have a lot of relationship experience. So yeah, no, and also knows who she is. So it's just like, honestly, it was mostly like, if you're doing something stupid, you should have woken me up. Was literally the first thought. Was no. What I'm asking for is like adventure partner with benefits, I guess. I'm not quite sure yet, but like it's not a the dark thing, and it'll probably never be said out loud, is Ashton's theory of what love is love is wanting to trust somebody. Not trusting them though, just wanting to. So yeah, anyway, there's my fucking
Love it.
dark. Yeah, it's so healthy.
All right, prompter says it's time for another poll from the Tower of Inquiry. I'll go first. 2 people.
Set up for failure, and I can believe in you.
Okay. I know the
Don't
one
stop.
side of these is leaning.
Oh boy, it's already.
Is it already going?
Yeah,
so-
it's kind of jiggling.
That messed up.
Yeah, Matt fucked it up.
Damn it, Matt.
I'm grabbing 3 pieces all at once.
Damn it, Matt.
no.
This is bad.
Oh no.
We're okay. This is fine.
Oh no.
That's not good. Is it my imagination that it's coming?
Oh no!
Wait, you gotta look.
45.
45.
Weird.
Dude, that was messy. I don't like these things. Don't give me finesse stuff. I'm a bull in a china shop.
I love it.
I feel like it's leaning.
Stop it.
Yeah, for sure.
Boy, I
Stop saying that.
I didn't do y'all any
Doesn't
favor.
feel good.
Good job.
Sorry.
add_dubs on Instagram. What is a theme you never expected to take stage in your character's journey so far?
Good question, Nat Dubs.
Theme.
Does Chetney have any themes?
Santa.
Not an unexpected one. I'm surprised how quickly it hit, but.
I mean, I didn't set out to make Fresh Cut Grass a weird conspiracy theorist.
Flat earther.
A flat earther.
no, it starts there.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, it was always the Ashton was always about integrating lost parts of you. It was always going to be that he was always built to go into, especially parental abandonment, I suppose. That was always part of it, and then like how you rebuild after that. So that was day one.
There might be a little bit of legacy in there for the first time. I think for Chetney, it was like, I don't make much of an impact, but my toys will, and people will love them and then like hand them down. And so that was his idea of legacy. And now it's become this grandiose delusions of grandeur, and that I can help affect the world or the cosmos or something. And so I think he's exploring that.
Where he's like slowly carved his name and put a stamp on every single piece of furniture that's ever had any significance in Exandrian history.
I'm just saying, his initials are all fucking over Aeor right now.
Yeah. Aeor!
He's just He's been grinding into the metal with that chisel.
Oh my God.
C-pop. What does it mean?
It's been around for centuries.
You're just what is it? What was the
It's not the only 1,000-year-old.
shit? The like Ripley was here or something. You know what I'm talking about?
yes,
Travis.
yes.
It was like a famous graffiti that was like all over the place.
Yes, 100%.
Next block.
Who wants to pull? Who wants
None
to
of us
pull?
do. Pick one.
Sam and Matt, boulder parchment shoot.
On 3?
After 3.
After 3, okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot. You win.
All
Good.
right.
So I go.
Yeah, you got you can outline those.
You win, so you pick. I guess we should have. I mean, it's assumed.
All right.
Yeah, you
All
got
right.
the shitty
Boy, this one's already sort of out. Oh boy.
Never
Touch it. You have to do it.
No, I don't know. Are those the rules?
If you move it, you gotta keep pulling it.
Wow.
Boy.
Righty.
Oh,
Dude, I'm sorry. I really cheesed
oh
that one.
boy.
From Astrid.Beck on Tumblr.
Oh, she was on the show.
Many of the previous player characters have returned as NPCs in Campaign 3. If you could take over any NPC to revive as a player character, who would it be?
Oh,
NPC.
I almost did this.
Yeah, you almost literally
What
did
was the
this.
one I almost picked? Dan?
You almost picked Darrow
Darrow.
of the Stubborn Stock
from
from
season
Campaign 2.
Yeah, I was talking to Danny about coming in as Darrow because I thought he would be super hot.
He was pretty hot.
He's really hot.
Yeah, and then why did I change? I don't know why, but I almost came back as Darrow.
I
Yeah.
would pick Bolo.
Oh yeah, we gotta know what
Whatever,
Bolo's
Bolo.
deal was.
Yeah, man.
She wanted to be a reporter.
I want to be a reporter.
Reporter.
I'm bringing her under my wing. So fucking terrible.
So good.
Got a bright future. What do you think? Other NPCs?
My first pick is too obvious. I'm trying to think of something a little
Why?
more deep cut.
What?
I mean, I honestly, I love the whole Clay family and Calliope. I like Calliope is
Calliope
just
Clay's a good
exciting
one.
me so much as a character.
Maybe for a one shot in the future. So.
Yeah.
It's not an NPC, but I briefly, when I was discussing and debating who this new character should be, I briefly thought, wouldn't it be fun if I came back as Percy DeRollo? As an older,
We had this idle conversation.
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
if I came back as like a grizzled old Percy DeRollo who's just suiting up for one more mission.
And then Taliesin said,
I said
absolutely not.
Well, I said no. I did think about it because it seemed like, honestly, because I couldn't quite say no to you yet. I had to try. You're in that
I had
place.
cancer.
Yes. I couldn't say no outright. I said I'd think about it. Thank you. And while we inevitably landed on no, I will admit I also was like, I want to see I'm so curious about your take. I want, did you have an idea? Was it how weird would it have been? But no.
Weird.
That would be a
Would've been
fun
really
one
weird.
shot, though, to do like a body switching episode
always
where
wanted to do a
everybody
body
has to
switch.
We've been
play
talking
as
about that for a long time. Once again, maybe another one shot in the future would be fun.
I would love a body switch episode.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Taliesin,
Freaky
that
Friday
leaves you.
this.
Go.
Oh, God damn it. I thought I'd get away with it.
I know I gave you this tower is now super.
Oh God.
Wow.
What did you do, you people?
Talk about all of the powder that's still on this. I don't know if the people can see this, but it is I can
From the
like,
pyro?
Yes,
It's
like
edible.
that's my
It's like
hand
it's
now.
like a ring pop. We'll just come by and lick the
Draw a
counter.
bunch of
Hand.
dicks on it and say Jester was here.
Yep.
One hand.
Oh,
You're welcome.
it's not fair. I have a tremor.
That's
okay,
true.
Okay. you're
Trimmer
fine.
clearance. Oh!
Nice.
Well.
On the other hand, I can
What
also
number?
just
What
be
number?
bold.
What number?
Oh, that's fair. 11.
11.
It could all go to shit right here.
Nicely done.
Shaky hand.
Nicely done.
From one of my very favorite names because it makes me laugh. Leviticus Yeticus from the Beacon Discord server. Some Euso fan out here. If you could adapt any game / book / movie / franchise, etc., into a tabletop RPG, which one would you pick and why?
Whoa.
Oh boy.
Wicked and Divine.
Oh yeah.
Encyclopedia Brown.
Ooh.
Good one.
Deep cut.
Well, no, I mean, like, because you could do Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew. There's like a whole. You could just make the Encyclopedia universe right there.
That was the main reason I went to the library back in the day. Yeah. All those books.
Love.
I think Lord of the Rings, because you could have dwarves and gnomes and halflings and people with swords and magic.
That I can slap him now. Okay, it's another week or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a long window. Afterwards.
Oh man. That's a tough one. Like I'm sure there's a better choice, but like my brain first went to like the Fate series, the Fate anime.
Oh.
Because you have magicians, you have people like mages with power, and then you have these historical powerful entities that are bound to them that they like use to fight each other. Kind of also kind of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure kind of stand like, but very like dark and intense. Fate Zero specifically, which is the one that I worked on, where like my heart kind of sits in that series, would make for some really interesting. Where like you're also trying to keep these things hidden from the modern world. Was these mage battles are like secret and playing for the Holy Grail and all that kind of fun stuff. That'd be a really, really fun series. The one might even exist that I'm unaware of.
I would do Full Metal Alchemist.
Good choice too. Yeah.
You've got alchemy. You've got different kinds of soldiers. You've also got lay people. You've also got the you've also got the mechanics and the automail engineers.
Yeah.
There's so much rich history.
That would be
Solid.
There's a lot of good anime choices actually.
Yeah. Good ones.
Good questions.
Yeah.
Great job.
Anybody else pulling or?
No, I mean, like, yeah, I just want the music RPG. I love the idea of making RPGs with like playlists. I mean, Wicked and Divine is all music, and it's also the phonogram, which is adjacent to that has like music, magical music powers and things like that. Like there's magic DJs and shit like that, and I think it would be really interesting to like have a tabletop game where actually like even such a thing as being the person in charge of the soundtrack can actually use like the music playing in the room to actually affect the game. Like I don't know, throwing it out there. I'm into it.
That's cool.
Oh, we just brainstormed a bunch of new stuff.
I know.
And another thing.
Thank you, Dubs, Astrid Beck, and Leviticus Yeticus. If you have a question for our Tower of Inquiry, you can enter it at critroll.com/tower. And that is it for this portion of the Four-Sided Dive. For our podcast listeners or those of you watching this as a VOD, we will see you next month. But please make sure you check out more Sided Dive because, yeah, it does, right? More Sided Dive. When we come back from break, we will be playing Roll For It.
Whoa.
It's basically rolly.
Oh, okay.
So just come back and watch it. You'll like it. We'll be back in a little bit.